Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the afternoon show, the Hyde Show, here at Africam Live. It's wonderful to be back in studio. I've actually been at some of our cameras. You might have seen us walking around, Naledi or Rosie's. We're working on some really exciting new projects, which I'm sure you'll all see and enjoy in the not too distant future. So those of you that have been watching the cams and seeing us strolling around, that's what we've been up to the last weekend. But for now, we're back here, back in the studio, watching the live cams. We're starting at Olifants. And it's a wonderful afternoon. As always, the bird calls, the sounds of the riverbanks. Oh, what just dashed across there? And if that was baboons, I didn't get a good look. Let's keep an eye out there. There's some bushbuck in the background. I'm still not sure what that was. That just looked like it took a jump off the edge there. But let's spend a bit of time here at the Olifants River and just see what comes up. It's always one of my favorite things to do. Even though we spent quite a bit of time in this area, we didn't actually go down to the river this time around. Let's see if there's anything around. You can hear the wonderful Cape turtle dove in the background. I must say one thing I can report back from this area is it is very hot. We averaged about 40 degrees every single day. Even in the morning it's around 30-35 degrees Celsius, so a very warm environment, which when we see the animals just taking it easy and enjoying the afternoon, that's exactly why. There's been lots of rain in the general vicinity as well, so it's going to be interesting to see this. The river should fill up over the next couple of days. It's looking lower than it has been, but wonderful and green. Beautiful sight. Let's keep coming across, see if there's anything underneath the fig trees. Ah, the red-chested cuckoo or the pygmy calling. We must really keep enjoying these summer bird calls, because in just a few months' time they'll be quiet again, heading off to various parts of the world when we have our winter months. So it's a lovely summer's call, that call, pygmy throw. We're just going to go over to Taucam. There's a beautiful view of two waterbuck bulls just starting to spar. We'll come back to the river cam. We'll keep an eye on it as we have all of them on another screen. We can keep monitoring on action cam. And I thought this is a beautiful view. Look at that lovely sunlight on these two big bulls. And let's see, I don't think it's too serious, but they have just started. And the Egyptian geese in the background are spectators to the match. At the moment, these two are just sizing each other up. It's like the first round. Oh, there we go. First blow thrown. Oh, here comes number 3, tag team. Let's see, very interesting. And they all three of them are big, beautiful males. That was easy. Seems like that one keeps coming back for more and taunting the other fellow, wagging of the tail, and keeps sizing each other up. No one's too keen on getting too involved in big fights, which is normally the case. They don't really want to have big fights. They rather have many sparring matches and smaller battles that don't get too serious, because when these animals get into a serious fight, they obviously can injure each other quite badly, and in some cases kill each other, which is not an ideal situation to be in. Essentially, they're trying to compete for dominance, for breeding rights. Essentially, waterbuck are not territorial, so they don't need to fight for territory, but they will fight for a hierarchy in a specific area, so that if a female does move into that area that is in estrus, it's pretty well understood as to who the breeding bull will be. As you can see, these three are not that angry with each other. They're quite happy to actually spend time with each other, but they will have those little sparring matches, and that goes for many other animals. We've seen that with giraffe and impala. Oh, look at that, a springbok. Huh, that's quite interesting. Don't see many of those on the camera. So the springbok is the smaller fellow in front of the impala, with a black stripe in the middle of its body, very white belly and white legs. It's actually a really nice example of the difference between the two. Now that you've got them side by side, it's pretty clear to see that they do look quite different. Impala is quite a lot bigger, actually. In fact, I think this might be the first time I've seen springbok at Taocam. South Africa's national animal. Those of you watching from abroad. I wonder if there's any more around. Let's see if the camera will pan out a bit further, give us a better idea. There's a 4th waterbuck. Lovely bachelor herd. Beautiful picture of diversity here. It looks like a little blacksmith lapwing. It's moving between the elephant dropping, trying to see if there's any insects. Good snack for it. Let's keep panning out a bit. So there's some more impalas. I wonder if that springbok found itself in an unusual area without any of its own kind and has joined the impalas. Better than being alone. Certainly safer. Most of these impalas also look like males. I think they've all got horns. So another bachelor herd of impalas. All of them taking it nice and easy. Quite a relaxed afternoon. Late afternoon sunlight. I'm just going to keep panning across the open area here, just in case. It would be quite interesting to see if there's more springbok. There, what is that? Yeah, that's another one. Okay, so we have two. Let's see if the camera keeps moving. Just get a good idea if there's any more. Sometimes find bigger herds, similar family structure to impala, where the males will dominate over breeding herds of females. Oh, that's an impala. Again, it's really nice to have them side by side. You can see they're quite different when they're together, but sometimes it does get a little confusing if you're not sure which one they are. That's another impala, two impalas. Those are all impalas. Very spread out. Doesn't look like there's any more. But that was really nice to see. We must keep an eye on that. Who knows? Maybe those are males coming into a new area. And female herds could join in at some point. So that's something to keep a lookout for. They do exist, obviously, in that area. They just haven't come up to the cams or the camera at this stage. There are some big open areas in this general vicinity of Taupan, and they do like big open areas. They do really well in hot, dry environments. It's certainly hot, but not that dry at this time of the year. They're stocking up on all the greenery. They do feed on grass, but they also don't mind to feed on the small shrubs that grow. Okay, we're going to go across to Rosie's pan. There's nothing in particular just yet. I'd like to take a look around. As always, it's always a good idea to spend a bit of time at each waterhole, having a good look around. That's the alarm call of a squirrel, of a tree squirrel. Have a listen again. We've often seen the tree squirrels moving around, but that's their call. And they often call like that as an alarm, either for birds of prey, sometimes snakes, sometimes even mongoose. But if they do see bigger predators like leopard, they also call. So it's a good sound to listen out for, but they're not always that accurate. Or at least it's always not so easy to see what is annoying them. They also tend to call long time after the threat has been around. So we saw some wonderful raptors at the waterhole recently. those sorts of things, even if there's just a flyby, could cause them to alarm like that. But let's have a look around. Looks like some old frog nest as well as a newer one at the bottom on the right. Wonderful afternoon sounds. That squirrel still making a bit of a noise there. There's also a yellow-billed hornbill calling, wonderful sound. The doves. I'm sure it's quite relieving to have the cloud cover. The sun was really powerful. There's a lot of rain forecast for next week in this area, which I'm sure will be quite welcome. Just want to keep going with the pan as the camera moves to the right. Doesn't look like there's anything out and about, although it's a good time of day to keep watching in these thickets. Good time for buffalo to come up and elephants. But there doesn't seem to be any obvious sign of them just yet. Okay, we're going to go across to Naledi Dam, which is in a similar vicinity to Rosie's, and here we have an Egyptian goose enjoying the top bits of the grass. I'm sure there's also quite a lot of grass seed. Maybe the grass is actually seeding a good feed, a good afternoon feed. I'm going to have a look around. I don't know if anyone saw the lines yesterday morning here at Naledi Dam. It was quite entertaining. We were actually having breakfast at the lodge, and we were privileged to be able to jump in the car and go and have a look at them. They managed to kill an impala, and they spent the rest of the day yesterday around the waterhole. So I'm just double checking that they're not coming back for a drink this afternoon. Okay, no sign of them either. Again, we'll keep a lookout, but they've certainly been in the area. And for those of you that are interested, the Cat's Eye Pan and the Lady Pan and Rosie's Pan are relatively speaking close to each other. And there's an incredible pride of lions when they're in their full numbers. They go up to 24. It's definitely a good space to keep a lookout or any lion activity. But in the meantime, we've jumped across the country to Tembucan, right on the eastern side of the country, quite far north, not far from the border of Mozambique. And here's a very relaxed group of impala, also just enjoying the afternoon cool, although they're still looking to be in the shade there. Let's see if the camera can pan out a bit. Let's have a look around the waterhole. See who's out, who else is out today. While we're waiting for the, there we go. I was going to say for the camera to activate and Zoomy to start moving. Always nice just to listen to the afternoon sounds, bird calls. As the usual, the woolly-necked stork, always very busy bird indeed. Moving up and down, looking for any insect. One does wonder, where do they all go when they're not in view? I'm not sure. Is that rain? It looks like, it sounds like it's raining. I think it is raining. You can see the raindrops on the waterhole. If it is, this seems to be a soft drizzle. But no sign of any other animals apart from those impala. Okay, that's fine. We're going to jump back to the west of the country. At Kwapan, we've got our Egyptian geese. I'm still not 100% sure what happened to the babies. The goslings were around for the first little while and then did seem to disappear, all of them at the same time. Definitely not sure how that happened, but it does seem to be the case. I think they've lost them. It's been, I'd say, 3 weeks now at least. So let's just have a look around here. always good to have a bit of patience, have a good look from left to right or all the way around. As we've seen many times, in fact, most of the time, if you're looking one moment and you turn to the other side, the picture changes. There's often a surprise here and there. Luckily, it's always very beautiful to look at. Just look behind the camera, see if anything's out in the open. Okay, nobody out there either. Just having a look at the lodge. I really hope that people start to travel again and get themselves into the bush. I tell you, these last weekends at Naledi camp have been amazing to actually be there and be in that environment. So I guess for tourism's sake, I hope that things start to pick up. But if anyone is looking to go on safari, either for the first time or again, I would definitely say go for it. It's definitely one of the most incredible places to be, especially now when we're all looking for open space, a bit of alone time. So let's hope people fill those lodges. We're going to go back to River Cam. We're slowly coming to the end of this afternoon show, but talking about beautiful, tranquil places. This must be one of the nicest, the Olifants River. Wouldn't be surprised if the animals are all extra slow today because of the heat, and there doesn't seem to be even a breath of wind. It was very humid actually this morning, so I reckon these animals are all taking it really slow. There's definitely no rush. But as always, you just never know what might pop up. There has been a lot of activity. Some of you might have seen the leopard last night that in Koropan was hunting the Egyptian geese, or at least disturbing them. Lions were at the Ledi Dam. So you just never know. You've got to keep watching. Whenever you have the time, or if you put it up on your screen and just let the camera go, have a look every now and then. It's a real privilege to be able to have this window into one of the world's wildest environments. Folks, thanks so much for joining me this afternoon. I look forward to catching up with you on the next show. Keep watching the cams, keep sending through snapshots, as well as if you have any questions on the Boma chat. Have a wonderful day further. We'll see you on the next show.